in the freak shows. Hit you with the shit, make you feel it all in your toes. Hot shit, got all my people in red clothes. Dialing my metaphors when I formulate my flows. If you don't know, you're messing with lyrical player pros like that. Wanna party with me?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. We're broadcast once again here in the DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. You're also, like I said, you'll tune in to the weekly podcast that we showcase all around the world. We're live streaming right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, and also we're live streaming on Twitch as well. So we're live streaming on all major platforms. Because this is our Wednesday night edition. You know how we do it here on our Wednesday night edition. This is already the 5th month of 2024. This is May the 1st, 2024. I hope you're getting everything accomplished. If you didn't get anything accomplished, you can always try back. Don't say try, but you can always go tomorrow and get everything done. I'm very excited. I'm very honored, very privileged to have an extraordinary individual on my show. I came across her platform. We connected a couple months ago on a Facebook network. Very extraordinary resume. She's been in the entertainment business for 25 years. She go by Bignene Lioness. Extraordinary woman. I want to thank her for taking time out of her productive schedule. So, Bignene, what's up with you? Very, very impressive resume that you have, and we love having positivity on this show. So, what's up with you? And go ahead and do yourself to the
Hey,
audience.
Furman. Hey, how are you? First of all, let me tell you, thank you for having me on your show. I really do appreciate it. And let's just get it, turn up, have some fun, positive energy. I'm with that.
Hey, I know, right? And I appreciate you, Bignene, as well. But just coming on here, you are in Austin, Texas. I talked to you before the show. I thought you was in Houston. I don't know where I got Houston from, but you're in Austin, Texas. So
Yeah.
are you a native of Austin? Are you a native somewhere else? I mean, how is Austin on the map?
I am not from Austin. I'm originally from Alton, Illinois. And my parents was military, so I'm raised everywhere, should I say.
So, would you consider yourself a military brat
I
per
am
se?
that. I am that. Definitely. Yeah, I'm
That's
I'm definitely a
that's
military
up.
kid. I mean, that's a crazy life within itself though.
Right. And I know as a child, up in child, like I said, I come from a military family. Because I know my uncles, cousins, you name it, served in the military. Back then, especially in the South,
Right.
military was the next best thing for the average black man, per se, black woman, of course, you want to say, in order to be
Right.
successful in life. Military helps bring on structure, things of that
Yeah.
nature. But I
Yes.
know moving around as a child, was it hard for you to adjust all the time, making friends? Before you know it,
Yes.
you leaving friends. How did it all cope with being a child?
I mean, honestly, it kind of screwed me up a little bit. Like all that stuff you named played a big part in my life because I'm a very clean woman. I like my house clean, things in order, and stuff like that. And I try to strategize when it comes to doing things, making sure they in order. And if they're not, I'll break it all back down and restructure it, you know. So it has its benefits, but for us to moving around and we go every 2 or 3 years, I got to make new friends, or we out the country, or I mean, I literally did 9 years of my life in Hawaii and 6 years of my life in, I mean, 9 years in Germany, but 6 years of my life in Hawaii. So just been everywhere.
Just been everywhere. And
Yeah.
like I said, then it allow you to be here. And before going any further, give a big shout out to Michelle. Michelle's a big shout out to Big Nene and the Lioness in the comment
Thank you.
section. So big shout out. Thank you, Michelle, for tuning in and watching. So military, how was your childhood? How would you say how your childhood was growing up?
Um, oh wow. Okay, so the very first bit of fame where I was ever on TV came in the strangest, strangest way because when I was like probably like 6 years old and we was in school And in this history class we was doing, they was teaching us a little bit about the history of the town we were from. Right, I was in Alton, Illinois when this took place, and they wound up showing a picture of our house on the projector, right? And me and my brother at the same time say, "Hey, that's our house." And everybody like, that ain't your house. Because the reason why the house was so important was because the tallest man in the world from Alton, Illinois was Robert Rotlow. And he's very known in the world. He's worldwide, made it in the Guinness Book of World Records. The tallest man in the world. They gave him his own store. Like, it was just the tallest man in the world. So just so happened, my mother wound up renting that house, not knowing that it was Robert Rotlow's house. We didn't know this. So while we're in history, and me and my bro like, that's our house. We stayed there like, y'all know, they're like, no, we do. Like, we were so turned up, like, yes, that is our house right now. That's our house right now. And so the doggone news people came, and mommy had forgot they was coming. She was smoking a joint, and she forgot the doggone people was coming. So now she didn't open the door, all the weed coming out the door, and so the news people. So the news people, they like, "Woo, would you like for us to come in or stay out here?"
Wow.
So that was pretty much like the first thing of fame that I ever had for us coming on TV. So like, and coming up in Alton, Illinois, it's a real small town, and we right next to St. Louis, East St. Louis, because you know East St. Louis is Illinois, St. Louis is Missouri. A lot of people
Oh,
don't know that.
really?
Yeah,
Big shout out to St. Louis, 'cause I got folks living in St. Louis. So big shout out to St. Louis. They
I
in
know they
Missouri.
ass crazy too. They ass crazy too, ain't
Big shout,
they?
yeah, big shout out to the Louis Court. Like I said, I got family there. So, but like I said, they in St. Louis, Missouri. I did not know that it was. I didn't know that. You learn. Hey, you learn stuff every day. You just
And
show
it's
something different.
crazy because St. Louis, it's like it's in between Chicago and St. Louis, Missouri is right in the middle. So when you come this way, you're going Illinois. When you go that way, you're going Illinois. But when you go this way, you're going Missouri. It's weird. I don't know who created all that stuff right there, but it is disturbing. But,
Oh, hey, like you taught me something today. But like I said, I know military. You did have a peak of fame, of course. Nah, that's good. That's speed. Like school wise, was you always the word that always stood out? You was always the entertainer. How was that? During your school days.
well, I was, and probably for some of the crazy reasons. One, because I was a fighter. But I was a fighter for a very good reason because I don't like bullies. Even though I was popular in school, because I was gorgeous in school, you know what I'm saying? I was gorgeous, I was popular. Plus, I was on the starting five basketball team, and starting five volleyball. Like in track, I was the last running because I was the fastest. Like I was just always excel in whatever I do. Thank God for that. But so it made me popular. But even though I was popular, I would never turn down somebody that was less popular. I would still tell them, "Hey, you can come hang out with me." And a lot of my friends didn't understand that. They're like, "Oh, that don't look right." Well, I don't care what don't look right with you because I'm not the type of person to make you change my mind on who I choose to talk to or hang out with. I'm a very neutral individual and I like to keep it like that. So, I mean, that's how I am. But yeah, I was popular because I had these hands. I wasn't going for it.
Mhm. And you know what made me think about that? And man, I'm gonna go biblical for a moment. When you said it, remind me when Jesus was on the scene, and they said he hang out with the tax collectors and sinners. You know what I'm saying? And then think about that. That hey, because I'm not gonna look down on them because they may not be to your expertise, but I'm gonna show them love. I'm gonna show them that they are somebody, and I'm not gonna belittle them or bring them down. And I don't think a lot of people understood that. They look at the nerd, the geeks, the dweebs, whatever you want to call it, look bad at them, but they are actually some good people they just never got the opportunity to be accepted because they was not the what this and that. But you
Right,
see the
but them
good
the
in people.
ones right to, but guess what? Them the ones right today living in big ass houses, got companies and all that type of stuff. See, I like to go where the brain is at. Let me say that again. I like to go where the brain is at because now I can learn something. I don't care much about being cool. Like even with myself as an artist, with all the stuff I've done, even though I know we're gonna get to it, I still would go hang out. I would go for the underdogs first before I go for the people that got all the money. I would go for the
Right.
underdogs first. Like I'm still that way. So yeah, pretty much. So in school, those are the things I did. I played in band. I played the French horn, which was the biggest, and I was only this big, mind you. Now in the sixth grade, I was like this freaking big, and I decided to play the French horn. And I tell you what, if I go back and change it, would I? Hell yeah, because I had to carry that big ass thing on my head home to home, back home, all because I wanted to stand out. Everybody was scared to get it. I'm like, no, I'm finna grab this. Y'all grabbing a little easy stuff. I'm finna grab this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I did in school.
And that's what's up. And I know you mentioned that you were diverse, you were active as a child, sports, giving people opportunities to showcase. And you said something very important. Those are the ones who are part of, I usually want to say the elite. They're the ones who got the corporation, got the businesses, got the stocks and bonds, always out there learning and exploring. But they're the ones that always got picked on, ridiculed, mistreated. But like I said, they're the ones running the Fortune 500 company. They the one on NFL teams and you name
Hmm.
it. But I like
You
what you.
ain't never lied.
But hey, but you said some Nene that was very important on what you said, and I hope people took what you said because you said something very, very important. And people don't understand that it's not about what you know, it's all about who you know.
That this is
And
true.
once you know who these individuals can help you take it to the next level. If you would
Indeed.
humble yourself and acknowledge that, hey, they got something I need, that's gonna help me take it to the next level. I'm not, in other words, drop your pride, drop your ego, and get out there and learn something. And you know what, Nina, I
Right.
believe that would keep life more interesting if we just learn how to get out there and explore, learn different things, go different places, especially when it comes to our community. We so diverse and we have conversations like this all the time. Like when it comes to the women, women aren't, some women may not be in hip hop, some women may like jazz, rock, pop, country. Everybody's different, but for some
Right.
reason we got this one track mind. That's all we know. What you want to say about that?
I mean,
Being
I
diverse.
feel like, first of all, I love the word diverse within itself because it means dive very deep into your soul, actually, and try different things that are already embedded in you. See, most people's biggest problem is they're scared of failure. They're scared of failure, and this is why they don't go out and take chances or takes risks. When it comes to the black community, the first thing we say is, "Oh, that's a scam. Oh, no, that costs too much. I'd rather go buy me something to drink, something to smoke, or something else besides investing in where it makes sense." You understand what I'm saying? And so that keeps the black community stuck because they want everything to come at a certain price or whatever. They're not willing to invest without thinking it's not a scam. And then they're scared of failing. They're scared of what their friends or their neighbors or whatever might say about that. Me personally, I'm a risk taker. I will be the one that would jump off the cliff skydiving. I would be that one. While everybody else be like, they'll be looking at the cliff, looking how far it is you gonna fall, versus saying, I'm finna overcome this. I'm finna do it. Especially if I'm with a professional that know what he doing. Oh, let's go. I'm getting it. I might scream all the way, die, but I'm gonna feel good because I took that chance. See, people, they're scared of failure or they're scared of dying about something. Two things for life for sure. You live to die. Period. Period. So you cannot be scared of nothing. Now I'm scared of spiders. I ain't gonna lie. Them damn spiders, they got me. They got me now. I might miss $1,000,000 if I had to cross over a whole bunch of spiders. But I'm just saying, like, that's what it is in the community, bro. Like, those three things right there. They're scared to deep dive down into their soul and open up those cages that's locked. Their chakras are locked. Everything about them on the inside is locked because they're too busy, got their eyes everywhere else instead of on their own path and their own direction and their own strength and things that they need to do. Basically, if they take fear out of their life, they might become more successful.
And also the fear of success. Because they don't
Yes.
believe in themselves too. Oh, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna sell. They have fear of that too. The fear of
Yeah.
success. That scares a lot of people too. But you can't be afraid. Fear is really the delusion. So that's
Yeah.
something they embedded in us for centuries, and we live that out. But we have to break the algorithm. I'm gonna ask you this, Nene. Did you always consider yourself a free thinker? Because we know we was controlled to think a certain way, when it comes to our belief, religion beliefs, affiliation, whatever you name it. But was you one of the individuals who always consider yourself being a free thinker?
Well, do you remember this saying our parents used to say, a hard head make a soft ass?
Yeah.
Well, I was definitely a free thinker. If you tell me, Nini, do not go down there and turn left or turn right, go this way, I'm gonna be curious why I can't go this way. I want to know why I can't go this way. I deal with the consequences later. So I'm definitely a free thinker. Like, I don't like my mind to be tied down to where it's limited.
Mm-hmm.
Our brain is so much bigger than what they even say it is. The expansion. It might look small inside of our head, on the outside of our head, it looks like a small little thing in there. But even though it's a small thing in there, it's the biggest thing in our bodies. It operates everything. So if you're afraid to tap in to this or that, you're not even expanding your brain. Your brain's you're supposed to work your brain. Because your brain got all of those doors either closed or open. Maybe you didn't walk through someone, you got your hand burned, it didn't work out, but it didn't say, hey, don't go back this way. Your brain is like a maze. Go ahead and try different things out. Don't be afraid, because either one or two gonna happen. Either you're gonna succeed in it or you're not gonna succeed. But that doesn't mean it wasn't meant for you. It just means maybe you should approach it a different way.
Right.
You understand? You understand what I mean? Because you can come at things one way, and no, it might not work that way. But if you approach it or tweak just a little bit over here, and then approach it, now that thing like in there, So yes, I'm definitely a free person that like to think. I know in order to be a leader, you got to be a follower. I understand that part. Followers become leaders, but I'm also knowing I was put on this earth to be a leader. So that's why I don't mind following, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, because just sitting there thinking as you talk about the free thinking aspect, we was taught not to question things. When I say questioning, but it became to whatever it may be. You have questions, or you don't question me because I said so. But why is that? What if? Why? Why not do it? What's the consequences? Do you think when that came from our upbringing was passed down to our no, thank God for our parents, but
Right.
the information they got from their parents, and then it trickled on down to when you question things, either you gonna get fussed at, and I know they didn't know the answer.
Right.
So a lot of things we were sheltered to, but we didn't start getting exposed to a lot of things till we got outside the home. That made sense. Like when it came to
Yeah, that
sex,
makes sense.
Like when it
Right.
came to sex was not brought up in the household. You didn't start
Mm-mm.
knowing about sex when you was out, with friends, especially with the guys. The uncle one had the magazine, the nudie magazines, and the pornography tapes, and I mean, we just it's stuff, and then that's how we learned it from there. But these are conversations that we was never taught. What you want to say about that too? Being closed minded while we was growing up, but then get exposed to a lot of stuff that actually got side the home.
I think that our parents are not at fault because, like you said, their parents and the parents before, they didn't know. And if you go back just a couple decades, we would be back in slavery, and they were brought up on fear. Only you can go so far, and I'm gonna yank this chain back on you. You understand what I'm saying? So they had no way of teaching us the things we needed to know for us, even dealing with credit. My parents didn't know nothing about no credit. That wasn't taught in school, you know what I'm saying? Or even in the household. Maybe some people's households, but it wasn't taught in my household. I didn't know about credit because if I knew about credit, my credit would be A1 okay right about now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like sometimes the streets, and I hate to say it like this, and it might sound a little cliche, but sometimes the streets can teach you stuff your home inside of your home can't.
Right.
Because the home is sheltering you from things. The
Hmm.
streets gonna give it to you raw. Now you gonna get out in these streets and you gonna learn this. You gonna bump your head. You gonna touch that hot fire, all kind of stuff. But you learn versus in the household, your parents, they don't want to be too much open because they're busy more sheltering you from it instead of telling you about it full force head on. Look, you go out there and smoke some crack, your ass gonna turn into a crackhead and all your money gonna go type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Versus in the home, don't do drugs. That's it. Don't do drugs. They're not good for you. Boom. Then you get one of your kids grow up and they start doing drugs. Well, you just said don't do drugs. You never told me what actually can happen if I do the drugs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I feel about that. I mean, the streets can teach us more because the streets is like the world is the streets. And it's like you gonna learn from somebody. It might not always be pleasant, but your butt gonna learn. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where
Right.
I'm at with that.
Yeah, and I feel that's like it comes down to the religion. You was like I believe in God, I really do. But when you grew up in church, to me, to church today is just too much emotion involved. It's too emotional. You get this false hope, but then when you leave that facility, you go right back to your at reality. You go right back to your old habits. You go back to your old ways. But I was just in this hooping. It feeds off your emotions. That's what I want to say. They play the music, get you all the emotions. You still the weeping and crying. I feel the spirit. But then you go when you leave that atmosphere, you go right back to your reality. No change, no conviction. You was never taught to question the pastor because they had it so programmed, like how me and you talk. They had it
Mm-hmm.
so programmed, like the pastor and God talking like me and you talking. So
Right.
it had the congregation believing that this man of God is actually talking to God, which was a lie because you had the same access, but the programming of you listen to me because I'm here, you there. You gotta listen to
Right.
me. If that makes
Well,
sense, on what I'm saying.
yeah, that makes sense. So let me ask you a question then. Can something rooted, can you learn from anything? Can you grow from anything that's not rooted?
It ain't something to think about.
Because let me tell you something. First of all, what's wrong with these so-called pastors and stuff in this church? The reason why people's leaving up out them churches empty is because the pastor not rooted. He's there because, first of all, when you want to become a pastor and you want to have a church, you got to sign this little paper of that the white folks want you to sign or whatever. I don't know the name of the paper, but it's a paper where they can only teach you so much. They really can't teach you the real biblical truth. So therefore, if you are not able to be taught the real biblical truth, where are you going to be grounded at? What's going to stick to you? Ain't nothing going to stick to you, because the stuff that you're leaving out is really the stuff that I actually need to stick to me so that I can grow. Now, for these pastors, they're as a hustler. And the difference between a pastor and a teacher is between Jesus and these pastors out here. Jesus is a teacher, and these mankind, if they're born into sin, they're already not rooted. And therefore, a lot of them come in that they went to prison, they have that, they get out of prison, they didn't get their little doctor and stuff in prison, and they get out, all of a sudden, they feel like they're a man of God. Well, I don't even like pastors. I like teachers. First of all, because Jesus was a teacher. Jesus was a teacher. Right. And this is why many followed. And this is why many got rooted in, because he taught them. If you're a pastor, you're preaching at me. I might as well be just in the house with my mom and dad, letting them read the Bible to me. That's how I look at it. And a lot of these pastors, they're in it for a hustle. They're not caring how they're changing other people's lives, or are they actually bringing souls in. They're caring about how many people we can sit in these seats, because that's where the money at. Hey, flock, go out there and bring people in the church, get them sit in this seat, and then I'm going to tell them what the white folks only can tell me I can talk about. You know, and they mislead them. And I'm telling you, that's a whole nother story, brother. We can be on that one. That's deep. You know what I'm saying? We might have to come back on here and actually just have a show and talk about that, because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's deep, brother. That right there. It is. That irks my nerves. It is. It's just deep.
And it is, because big shout out to Truth Seeker out of my hometown, Mobile, Alabama. He got me into like the 12 tribes of Israel, knowing your identity. These are things they don't even teach in the modern day church. A lot of this stuff, me and some fellas out of my hometown, we learned this stuff outside the four walls. Right. The books that's mentioned in the Bible, they took, that's in the Roman, that's in the Catholic Bible, the lost books that's not in the King James, but them books they don't even talk about.
Right.
Yeah, and that's crazy. But like I said, it's only so much information they give you. But like you said, like in the streets, you're not gonna get this great information until you get out of these surroundings and hit these streets. Because people say the streets, but I ain't gonna. You got some evil, devilish stuff in the streets, but you also have some good information in the street as well. Because the OGs, especially for the guys, if you walking around with your head down, they were gonna punch in your chest. But they did it in love. Straighten you up and like, hey, you dry them tears, you a man, you be a man and handle your business. But this kind of stuff we don't see no more. It's like we're in a generation now where it's soft, it's easily offended. You say something, oh, I'm offended, so I'm gonna do this.
Well, you do a lawsuit. Now we got a lawsuit because you said my clothes didn't fit me right. Now we got a lawsuit looking ass. I'm tired of these sensitive ninjas, because for one, though, friend, we really can't hold too much against them, because biblically, everything is supposed to be turned upside down anyways. Everything is backwards. We're living in a time where everything is backwards, and everything positive is negative. Everything negative is positive. You got women playing the man, the role of a man more than the man. And now the man at home secretly putting on her thongs and making videos with men and doing all kind of stuff. And then, everything is so in the open now, and everything is so backwards now that it's hard to get a grip on it. So I just advise anybody, do your research, keep your chakras clean from your head to your toe. Trust God. There's only one God. There ain't gonna be no other gods outside of that one God. You know what I'm saying? And just know that you can't change everybody, but try to make a difference while you're here on this earth, because that is our purpose, if you just really want to be honest about it.
Oh yeah, most and then like I said, especially when it comes to the man and woman, we we are designed to complement each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a war going on where you have the man. I'm gonna even say man and woman, but man and woman they know themselves, the male and the female. You see that on social
Right.
media now where guys bashing women, bashing single mothers. Oh, stay away from single moms. They're gonna say children, gonna see the family court. And you got guys, once again, that's going back, that's that cult mentality. Instead of being a free thinker, they're going on what somebody told them. Why they tell you stay away from single mother? They just give you their experience, but you can't say all single mothers are bad because she could have been a widow. They don't talk about that. She could have been with her
Right.
husband. He passed on. A lot of times kids don't even know who their father is. He may die when they was babies. That happens too every day.
Yes, it
So
does.
just because she's a single mother, that make her a bad woman? No. And then if you see the characteristics, oh, okay, she's a good mom, she's a good mother. So that lets me know if I decide to be with her and we decide to have a child together, I know that the child we brought in together will be well taken. I see how she does with the other children. If that makes sense what I'm
Right.
saying.
That makes a whole lot of sense. But in today's world, they're not taught love. Love is what's
Right.
missing when they remove God out of schools, and when they remove God out of a lot of things, it removed a whole shield of love. It really did. And by the masses, they've been tearing up the black homes for so long. And now they're showing us leaders through entertainment. Now, this is deep. Catch this. Catch this.
Hmm.
If I can't get the children in your home to just verbally say, hey, go out there and put a skirt on, put some lipstick on, go outside and dress like that. If I can't get you to do it that way, I'm going to get you to do it to the thing you love the most, which is entertainment. See, that's
Hmm.
black people thing. We love to entertain. We are the entertainers. We are the entertainers. Everyone wants to be like us. Every last one of them races wants to be like the black man that they can't stand. You understand me? Because we are gifted and talent on everything we put our hands on. You understand what I'm saying? And so the masses thing is, let us keep these households weak. How can we keep the household weak? Back then in slavery time, it was snatch the black man out the house, beat him in front of the kids. I'm going to show you how strong your daddy is. You see me whipping your daddy, got him crying out, crying out. Okay, well, the masters know they can no longer do the whipping thing. So we're going to show y'all how strong your daddy is, or your big brother is, or your big uncle is, or big cousin is. I'm going to show you through this entertainment. These same sports people, these same music people, now they everybody wearing skirts and dresses and lipsticks and trying to convince Bignene that the shit they carrying is not a purse. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is just tore down. Like everything, like I said, is backwards, is tore down. Nobody got no guidance. Nobody got no love. There ain't no love. Everybody believes in what the devil created. And he's a mastermind. He's
Yeah.
a mastermind because black people, we are supposed to be targeted. Why? Because we children of God. We born with the melanin in us. We got the DNA of God. Only black people got that DNA. Now, one other race on this earth can come to me and tell me they got God's DNA. You know what I'm gonna tell them? I need you to stand out in that sun for a minute, please, and let's see what happened to you, and let's see what happens to me.
Right. And going back to we come from the tribe of Judah. We come from the tribe of Judah. That's the tribe we come from. We are part of the 12 tribes. We are the children of Israel. We are a part of the 12 tribes. That's another thing they're
Right.
not gonna teach us. And matter of fact, if you go they go and go further, even in Jesus in Revelation, those who are in Israel are the synagogues of Satan. I'm paraphrasing, but the ones that's over there in Israel are not the real people. We are. If you look in the Apocrypha explained that we were scattered. You see that today. We are scattered.
Yeah. We are
And it,
scattered.
and it was told that we were going to be scattered because of our disobedience, because our forefathers started
Was
going after
disobedient.
disobedient, going after the other guys. So God said, okay, then I'm going to put this curse on you and I'm going to have you scattered. They're going to do all these things to you because I disobedient. But then
And your
Christ came.
generation and your generation and your all your kids gonna feel we feeling everything our ancestors since they chose to be disobedient. We're gonna suffer, but that doesn't mean
Right.
that we're not children of God. And I just feel like people really need to wake up. Some people are still asleep. They're asleep, and they don't understand the meaning of awake. The white man, I'm not gonna say the white man, I take it back. The masses, the elites, and all of them, they basically dangle, which they always dangled in our first silver, gold, money in our face. And we run straight to it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, there was black people that had black people in slavery. And if you think about today's world, how the black man act once he get power, how did he treat the next black man? Like he's the master and you're the slave. So it really ain't no freaking difference. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. That's deep.
That is, that really is. I also thought going first. Big shout out to Phoenix Sapphire in the building, of course. She said you speaking facts, but out to Phoenix Sapphire, extraordinary woman.
Thank you.
She co-hosts with me sometime here on the show. She's been doing some great things outside podcast. I'm very proud of her. So keep it a great work on Phoenix Sapphire as well. But before going any further, we got some music we're gonna play as well. I'm gonna play one of your tracks, Nene, and after that, I want you to take us on what that track is all about. We're gonna be right back after this music break.
Bignene, let's go!
She's so savage.
Excuse me, bartender. My friend would like to order some margarita Patron, and my cousin would like some Hennessy, and my homegirl, she wants some Casamigos. And friend over there, he want Don Julio. And me, I want some Dulce. Can you bring that? Yup. Ooh-wee. Tell me what you got in your cup, pouring down your throat tonight. Yup. Ooh-wee. Tell me if it's light or dark, cause you know we gon' party all night. Alright. Ooh-wee. Tell me what you got in your cup, pouring down your throat tonight. Yup. Ooh-wee. Tell me if it's light or dark, I'm feeling kinda freaky, get my drink on. I plan on getting lit tonight. I plan on getting stressed up off me in this club. Sitting at the bar, looking like a star. Ain't bother y'all, but I am about to get this party in. Drinking in my cup, like a dog, I'm gon' turn up. Cause I don't need drama when I'm trying to drink. So don't come with me and let me drink cause I'm ooh-wee. Tell me what you got in your cup, pouring down your throat tonight. Yep. Ooh-wee. Tell me if it's light or dark, cause you know we gon' party all night. Alright. Ooh-wee. Tell me what you got in your cup, pouring down your throat tonight. Yep. Ooh-wee. Tell me if it's light or dark. I'm going to a getter. Got my red cups in my bag for the liquor. Ice in my trunk cause I don't do hot liquor. You can say I'm red, trail ride red. All night flirting, babe. Sexy with my boots on. Queens got them to the song. This gon' be the night. I'm doing just fine. Turning up drinking. In your cup. You can drink what you want. Go ahead and do your thing. In my cup. I'ma drink what I want. I'ma go ahead and pour my drink. In your cup. You can drink like a dog whiskey while I'm out of them knees. Let's drink. Yeah. Ooh-wee. Tell me what you got in your cup, pouring down your throat tonight. Yep. Ooh-wee. Tell me if it's light or dark, cause you know we gon' party all night. Alright. Ooh-wee. Tell me what you got in your cup, pouring down your throat tonight. Yep. Ooh-wee. Tell me if it's light or dark. Damn. Make ready. Rock the block. Man, I had dreams.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here on Walking His Ways Impact Voice Podcast. Play one of Bignene's tracks. So, what's the meaning? Take us behind the scenes of that song. What's the meaning behind it?
Okay, well, one day I had got booked in Atlanta, and I was at the bar, and I'm really not that much of a drinker. Like 1 or 2 shots, I'm good to go. So anyway, I'm at the bar and this lady comes up, and I guess she was just feeling good or whatever. And she goes, "Oh, wait, I don't think I should drink one more drink, but I'm gonna drink one more drink." That's what she said, right? And that's how she said, "Ooh wee," and how she said it, it just put a light bulb in my head. Like, man, I'm gonna write a song called "Ooh Wee," a drinking song, and that's actually where I got that song from. That's where I got it from. That right there, the lady saying "Ooh Wee" at the bar, but it's how she said it, and it just pretty much put a light bulb on. So I just went for it. I feel like a lot of people drink. It's a drinking song. Let's have fun while we're doing it. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to drink on occasion myself. It's no wrong with having a good drink, enjoying yourself. You know, it's like when you drink now, you have a drink in that successful atmosphere. That if that makes sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
be
that makes sense.
around successful people who like to sit, have a nice drink, cigar, whatever you want to call it. But it's not wrong with having a good drink on occasion, just to wind down, relax. And like I said, it sounds like a great party song as well. A song you play
Thank you.
at a function, club, whatever. So it's a good track, of course, as well. Also, so let's talk about the music world. How long? I know
Okay.
you mentioned you've been in the industry for 25, but how long within the 25? How long have you been a music artist?
I've been a musical 25 years. I've been a musical artist for 25 years.
Okay, got
I've
you.
I've never stirred away from that.
Awesome. So who was your influence growing up when it came to hip hop?
Um, I like that. My favorite person is Missy Elliott. She's my favorite, and the reason why I choose Missy Elliott is because she's so creative. She used her creativity to the fullest. I mean, back then when her videos was coming out, you knew Missy Elliott had a heap of creativity in her video, you know. And I'm one of them people. Like when I get a chance to do my video, it's got to be creative because creativity is what keep people engaged in what you got going on. If you just get up there and do a black and white video, they're just gonna look. Okay. But if you got 5 ninjas that then jumped off and flipped and fireworks came and then you're like, dang, now you're stuck. Like, oh, I gotta see that video again. So Missy Elliott and the Brat and and China White.
Matter of fact, I had China White on my show late last year.
Did
Out of
you? Oh my
New
gosh, she's
Orleans.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, out
Yeah,
of New
she
Orleans.
had a New Orleans.
Yeah, out of New Orleans.
Her and I were gonna do a song, and we set up the studio date and everything. And at this time, I was living in Houston, and she was in New Orleans, and dealing with some personal things with her boyfriend and stuff. And we set up the studio time and everything, and then I was supposed to be down in New Orleans in 2 days. And when I got time for me to go, I got ready to call her and be like, I'm on my way up there to New Orleans. And never answered the phone. Never answered the phone. Couldn't find out she wound up getting in trouble. You know, I ain't gonna put her business out there, but like getting in trouble on some other stuff. And this is the reason why I never actually got that song done with her. But I like China White for a reason. Because for one, her voice was demanding.
And it was like I
Her
had on
voice
the
was
show.
demanding.
I had a show a couple of months ago. Really down to earth. She been through a lot, but she's still doing things. As a matter of fact, she's still putting out music to this day,
She
of
is.
course, and she's very gifted and talented. And like I said, the way she comes with it, she comes with it raw. And that's why I said so. I had on the show. Big shout out to China White out of New Orleans as well. Also, I said when you speaking that creativity, and like I said, I like Dr. Dre. I love Dr. Dre. His work ethic when it comes to producing, making beats. What happened to that generation, Nene? Well, we had the artists like that, like the Missy Elliott's, the Dr. Dre's, the Snoop Dogg, the LL.
Well, what happened to that generation was the agenda starting to kick in. Everything got to be on time, on date. That's what happens to that generation because the fun games is over on their end, but it's still fun on our end. Not too many people gonna get that. You know, they basically said we're gonna stop playing with y'all. We're gonna let y'all slide in to capture to get your engagement. Now we finna go and start kicking off our agenda. Once we got enough people engaged in, now we can let the agenda kick off, which means y'all not finna have no more of this fun stuff. Now our agenda is to turn everybody in skirts, demonic and devilish, and since y'all got a problem with us killing each other off, well, why not let some of y'all folks that come in, kill us, put your business on the internet, y'all kill off each other. We're gonna get the insurance off you, and that's that. In a nutshell.
You're right about that. And you're right about that. We say that all the time. You know, you got the old Diddy situation. You know, you got all that stuff going on, and all these people coming out and saying Diddy was doing this, Diddy's doing that, and
well, he do got did in his name.
I mean, hey, if you look at it, then a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, this and that. You know, Cat Williams started a lot. They said Cat Williams started a lot of stuff, and it just went from there. But we see what's going on. It's like nowadays, and whatever done in the dark vision come to the light. Now it's like everybody is piling on everybody now. Well, he come out, I'm finna pile in, I'm finna jump in.
Right.
And we see that's going on every day now.
Yeah. And we gonna see it going on. And we gonna see it going on because first of all, there's something big getting ready to happen, and they have to allow something like this to take place so they can keep people from, because for a minute everything was quiet. Everything was quiet and still. Nobody wasn't getting killed. Ain't none of that was going on. And people, when things get quiet, then people are then it's when they have the time to go start awakening themselves. Mm. Okay, so now y'all don't got nothing to focus on. Boom. So we finna allow this to happen. So now y'all gonna focus on this while we keep operating over here, getting this done, because y'all really finna get effed off, basically. You know what I'm saying? And P. Diddy was the prime example. They're gonna make example out of that man on so many levels, because this is how I think about the whole situation. If you're gonna lock up P. Diddy, you might as well go. If you're gonna lock up R. Kelly and P. Diddy, you might as well go lock up everybody in that industry. Period. Don't leave out not one. I don't care who it is. You go all the way back down to Quincy Jones, all the way back down to Berry Gordy. You can go all the way back down to the same people that black folks look up to. It's the same people that's involved in all this stuff right here. The same very people that we look up to. We call them icons. We call them legends. It's the same people that's involved in this whole big situation. Now, P. Diddy he was smart. He got evidence on everybody. Everybody that then came through that house, even the masses, the elite. This is why his house really got raided, because the masses and the elite had to hurry up and raid that boy's house. Because why? It got stuff on them. All the way back to President Obama. All the way back to President Obama. You understand what I'm saying? So, to me, God's sick of it. God said, I'm finna unravel all of this because I'm tired of my chosen one being misled. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it do make sense. And if you think about it, about what's that guy, that billionaire that went to prison, he quote unquote killed himself. What's that guy's name? Help me out there in the comment section. Is it Weinstein? It's not Weinstein. Who was
Harvey? You talking about Harvey Weinstein?
You remember when he went to prison?
Mm-hmm.
And he had names of all the people he dealt with, and they say he killed himself. But I believe that man finna start telling some too, like, "Hey, I'm not going down by myself. I'm a billionaire. These are the people who I've been working with, servicing these sex trafficking with. So, like, you know what? We need to take him out because we don't want these names to get out. Because he had some powerful names in that book."
Right. But I don't think he's dead. I certainly don't think he's dead. I certainly don't think any of those people that they put in prison for stuff, I certainly don't think a lot of them people are in prison. We know R. Kelly in there because he's black. So they're going to display that. But when it comes to the white folks, they got their butt off on an island somewhere. You ain't finna tell me a billionaire ain't finna get off. because this world is based on money and all this old stuff here. There's an island that these people go to, and they're no longer to show their face. They no longer can show their face to society. So it's like you out of sight, out of mind. Now we can kill you, but hey, we love you so much because you know why we love you so much? Because we was participating with you. We just got to put you somewhere where you can't be seen or talk anymore. So now you got to go to the getaway island like everybody else. Meaning we can't, you out of sight, out of mind. We'll never see that man again. But not necessarily saying he's dead. Because you can't kill somebody. Why? We've been doing, you was in that bed with me, bro. You was in that bed with me. So we best of friends damn near. We done did a threesome. You didn't saw it. You didn't saw it. I was there with you. I ain't gonna kill you. You're like my best friend. We done had too many good times. I'm gonna look. Well, you might not want to go whining, Harry Weinstein, but we got to get to the island, brother. You know we love you, but we just can't have this type of shit on our plate. You can hear the white folks saying that. You know, you hear that right now, them saying it. And so a lot of them people, I don't think that they're dead. I just think they're off on that island that they talk about a lot, and that's just where it's at. Because Harvey Weinstein got a big, like him, President Clinton, Hillary Clinton, all of them people got to do with sex trafficking. All of them do. So they're about to make an example out of PD from our point of view. They're going to make an example out of him because they want to show him, you didn't overstep your boundaries. You done made us look stupid. Now, when you start making us look stupid, now we got a problem. But if you see it in the black folks' eyes, oh, what first thing we gonna say? Oh, they're gonna make an example out of him. You understand what I'm saying? That's pretty much how that works.
Yeah, like I said, it's real out here, as they say in these streets, and it really is. You know, that made me think about what Paul said. You know, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, spirits, principalities in high places.
That's right.
He didn't say low places, high places. So these are things we're dealing with. They're in high levels. They're in our entertainment, our education, sports. He always going to attack at these high arenas, like you said, to control the masses. Can you look at it now? If you look at the world, they always looking up to athletes.
Right. Yep.
Just like when they had the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Who was saying stuff? The athletes were saying stuff. They had everybody looking up to athletes, and these athletes making millions and millions of dollars a year, but they was supposed to be the spokesperson, and a lot of people looking up to them. What you want to say about that when it comes to the athletics?
I think can I speak my mind?
Yeah, this was my platform. This is my show. Yeah, this was all about
I definitely want to speak my mind on this. I think they all full of shit. They're all full of shit. They're puppets up there, man. They're puppets up there. They can only do so much. The first time they mess up, they butt out of there. Just like they did Tiger Woods. The very first little mistake that man made, what did they do? They shattered his whole life.
They did. Versus
white people. When they mess up, man, they still in position or on suspension or something like that. But a black person, the minute they mess up, everything is gone. I think that black people don't want to be poor, and there's nothing wrong with that. Who wants to be poor? Who wants to live in the hood? Who wants to not have anything? So people out there doing what they're doing to take care of their family, to feed their family, to leave a legacy and all this stuff here. So they're willing to do whatever. But even in the athlete world, they are not secluded from doing what these music entertainment have to do. They have to do that too. They got to get done in the butt. They got to suck some dick. They got to do all that. They're not secluded from any of that. They're not. The people just focus more on the black people because their whole thing was like slavery. We have to show y'all who's boss, who's master. Yeah, we'll give you this. But if you're not doing what we need you to do, and anytime you slip up and even say the wrong thing, now you're no longer welcome in this kingdom. When black people should say, you're not welcome in my Father's kingdom, which is the kingdom that really matters. But nobody don't want to be poor. They don't want to live that struggle life. What it is, nobody wants to struggle. So any opportunity they get, if they get the opportunity to live, I'm not mad at them. But if when they want to go like so big, there's things they have to do, and they know it. And this is why you're starting to see some of the athletes carry purses, wear skirts. Dwayne, man, look, him and Gabrielle Union, they got me so sick with their asses. You know what I'm saying? I just look at her on a whole another level now, because I would never, ever tell my king it's okay to be wearing skirts and purses. And hey, king of the castle, it's okay for our son to be this way. No, hell no, it ain't okay. It ain't okay. It ain't gonna never be okay. But she wants to keep her position, just like the rest of the black women up there. They're going along with it. They're all going along with it because they want to keep their position. They don't want to lose their position. They want to sit up there and high and mighty with these high and mighty dresses and clothes and earrings and jewelries and houses, while they man going down the street to sleep with a whole nother man, and they're at home crying because they ain't getting no sex because he giving it to Paul. Yeah, while they still got on football jerseys. They jugging it for real. So therefore, man, I don't like none of that world. Listen, I'm just trying to get me and do me, because I don't agree with nothing they got going on. I just don't. And to be frank with you, since I've been in the industry, I've been offered a contract from Illuminati. I've been offered 2 contracts. I could be a millionaire right now if I really wanted to. I could be a millionaire right now. I already been offered 2 contracts. And with that being said, I know what it takes. And my soul is way more important than doggone having all that stuff, bro. It ain't that serious. It's just because when you die, you can't take none of it with you.
That's true on that. You can't. You know what, Nene? We gotta do another part 2 on this one. Nobody gonna do the financial wisdom with my sister Charlotte out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
We're gonna have to bring it. Before you leave though, how can individuals get in contact with you? Social media purpose. Well, let me rephrase that for somebody. You got some weirdos out there. So how can people support you in the work that you're doing? Go ahead and plug in your social media platforms and all the other great stuff.
Okay, I'm your girl, Bignene Lioness. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Bignene Lioness. And you can find me on Facebook, Lioness Woods, and Instagram, Lioness Woods. I got 3 TikToks. TikTok. I got 2 TikToks, 2 Facebooks, and 2 Instagram. Bignene Lioness and Lioness Woods. You can't miss it. I'm a fleet DJ host, and that's where you can find me at. And my music is out on all social media platforms. Definitely. A shout out to my manager, Stephanie Batiste, too.
And awesome stuff. I appreciate you. I enjoyed this conversation. But we're going to have to chop it back up on this because there's some real great stuff as well. Like I said, we're about to do this financial wisdom with Charlotte. So, y'all, this is something we do every other week here on the podcast. It's all about finances and your finances in order, all the other great stuff. So, I have my sister on here with expertise. So, we're going to be kicking in for that. Before we get off into that, I'm going to play another track from you, Nene, as well. And
okay,
we're going to be getting ready for the next track. We're going to do this one, right?
Okay.
Bignene, let's go!
She's so savage.
what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Financial Wisdom with Shiloh. This is something that we do every 2 weeks here on the podcast. My guest out of Houston, Texas, has the experience when it comes to finance. Big shout out to Bignene Lioness that was on here earlier. We talk about some deep stuff, y'all. So we thank everybody for tuning in. Got to bring it back on for the second one and what we're gonna be doing. But we know that tonight is Financial Wisdom with Shiloh. So Shiloh, thank you for taking time for your productive schedule. I know you're doing a lot of great things in H-Town. Steady doing a lot of studying, taking it to the next level. So what's been going on with you and all of the great stuff?
What's up, Furman? What's up, Walking His Ways Impact Voice Podcast? So glad to be with you this beautiful Wednesday. It is May 1st. Can you believe it? We are already 5 months in 2024, Furman. Can you believe that we're already halfway through 2024? It seemed like 2024 just started, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
but we here. But like I said, I know you got some things you want to share with the masses. I know you got something you want to share with the audience when it comes to our finance. We know that, people are looking at retirement, people, and a big shout out to Miss D out of Trinity 3-in-1 service. She made a very interesting point, Charlotte, when we had a meeting with her today. And she said something about them investing. A lot of people don't understand that wealth comes from investing.
Oh, yes.
And that really made a lot of sense. Everybody don't think, they think is the other way, but the real thing is all about investing. But anyway, I want you to go ahead and share your experience, share your wisdom, share your knowledge when it comes to that. And another thing I want to talk about, what I don't want to talk about, I want to address is how about build up our savings. How can people start building up their savings the correct way? What is the percentage you should start off with when it comes to their savings? When you look at your savings, people get tired of seeing the low savings, the low checking. They get tired of seeing all the negatives. But we have this. It's time. I do believe, Shiloh, is that it's time for us to start taking this thing to the next level now. We've been at the same level for so many years, and I'm gonna go bigger for a moment. The children of Israel, it would have been an 11-day journey. It took them 40 freaking years. 40 years, 11-day journey, but it took them 40 years. But that's all I want to say about that. So the mic is yours.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny that you said that. You know what? We're always normally on the right page, right? And so my topic today was going to be retirement, right? Want to talk about retirement. Why do we need to talk about retirement? We need to talk about that because one day we're not going to work anymore. Right? Isn't that the goal? One day to not work anymore, right? And so that's why saving and that's why investing and that's why these things right now in our earlier age while we're working is so very important. You see, one thing about retirement is not an age. It's not when you become 65 or 67 or 55 or 57. It's the amount of money that you need to live on through your life expectancy. You see, life expectancy for men is 84 years old. For women, it's 86. That means when you are done working for money, how much money are you going to have to actually live on? Right? Outside of Social Security, how much money through your working years have you been putting away to actually live on? Unfortunately, we weren't taught this soon enough and early enough, right? Because think about this. If we were taught to pay ourselves to our retirement, to our rainy day fund, to our emergency fund, when we first got into the workforce, we would have a lot more money than we do when we just started, when we're in our 30s or when we're in our 40s or sometime in our 50s, right? I just did and it's like a reality check for some people, right? People don't even think about these things until it's too late. And now we're doing everything we can to play catch up. And the sad part is, Furman, if we don't start sooner than later, there will be no catch up, right? I think sometimes we think that, oh, when we get to 65, we get to retirement, it's going to just fall out the sky and we're going to be just fine. Well, guys, you know what? The fall out the sky money is just your Social Security, right? And how many people do we know who did not prepare properly for retirement, and now they only have $800 or $900 or even $1,000 or $1,200 to live on? Right? What does that mean? That means they have a very limited lifestyle because they didn't do the appropriate things to make sure they could actually have the kind of life that they wanted to live. Okay. So now let's take this back, because one thing about I love your show is that, you know what, this is, we talk about the word of God, right? And I always want to be able to come from scripture. Right. I didn't start touching money until my 30s. So we want to talk about scriptures, right? Because scriptures are, thank you for that, Tony, because scriptures are really important, right? Is retirement in the Bible? Well, when we go to Numbers, right? When we go to Numbers 8, 23, this is what the Bible says. The Lord said to Moses, this applies to the Levites. Men 25 years old or more shall come to take part in the work at the tent of meeting. But at the age of 50, they must retire from their regular service and no longer work, right? So what, even in the Bible, it comes to a point in time where we don't go out and we don't toil for money, right? And so, guys, before it used to be 50, and then it used to be 55, then it used to be 62, now it's 65, or then it used to be 65. Guys, do you know now average retirement age is 67? Why is average age of 67? Number one, we are living a lot longer, right? But number two is because we don't save enough to retire any sooner.
Right.
I think people, and go ahead.
No, also we look at the incarceration rate too, because we got a lot of young people now who are being incarcerated. Yeah. Because there ain't gonna be no more Social Security because they are incarcerated. They told me that years in my generation ain't gonna see no more Social Security. So that's why it's important to get the work with the Roth IRAs and things of that nature. But go ahead, my beautiful sister, because this is your segment.
No, this is your show, right? So you can get in there anytime you want. Actually, I love the dialogue back and forth, actually, right? And so again, too, what is it when we talk about retirement? Let's say, if you're not paying yourself, Furman, then who's going to pay you? See, we have to look at ourselves as a bill. Right? We look at, we pay everything else, we pay everybody else, but we don't take time and we don't budget ourselves in, right? I always say people like this, Uncle Sam, they pay themselves before they pay you, right? Because they don't trust you that you're going to pay them. So Uncle Sam take their money off the top, right? Because they know that you're not going to do what's right, right? And so that's what we have to actually start budgeting in ourselves, right? Because at the end of the day, when you give your keys back to that company and they pat you on the back and say good riddance and goodbye, we're done with you, we don't need you anymore, what are you going to do to live on? Right? Because after, this is the way life is supposed to be. We're supposed, in the earlier years, you're going to have what? You have young children that's depending on you, right? You have debt that we accumulate. Okay, let's talk about debt, because we really don't know what to do with our debt because we drank the wrong Kool-Aid. I talk about this all the time. We only know to go to work, get out of college, debt, go to college, debt, go get credit cards, debt, not understanding interest rates, not understanding why you pay your credit cards off at the end of the day or end of the month, and not why you don't pay just the minimum, but you actually pay these things off to save yourself what interest, right? Interest rates go up and up and up, and that's what get people in so much debt they can hardly get out of it, right? Now they can't go get the home that they want because their credit score is low. They can't go get the car that they want because their credit score is low. They can't go live the life that they really want because why? They did not do the proper things because they have lack of education. So now we have these credit cards, debt. We go get these big old fancy houses, debt. We go get these big old cars, debt. We go get these marriages, debt, and we go get these children, debt. And no one teaches us how to manage debt, how to get out of debt. And now we look up and we're in our 50s and in our 60s and we still have student loan debt. We still have credit card debt. We have refinanced that house so many times, right? And we still have grown children still living with us, right? Not and all it's doing is taking away from what? Our resources. But guess what you need in retirement? You need retirement income. Now, how do you actually accumulate how much retirement income that you need? Well, this is what we call your financial independence number. Okay. And you may can calculate this on your own, or you can sit with someone like myself that can actually ask you these questions so we can know what your goals and dreams are. For example, if I were to ask you how much money would you like, income would you like coming in to your household when you are in retirement? So when you turn 67, your life expectancy is 86. How much monthly income would you like to come in to fund your goals and your dreams and your lifestyle? Right? Most people don't even think, oh yeah, I need about 2,500 or 6,000 or 10,000. We need to take time and look at our goals and look at our lifestyle to understand we're going to need this money to come from somewhere, right? And this is where investing comes from. Because listen, I'm going to teach you the rule of 72. What is the rule of 72, guys? The rule of 72 approximates how many years it's going to take your money to double. Let's say, for example, you have $10,000, but you want that money to grow to $20,000. We use the rule of 72. Let's say you take that $10,000 and you take it to the bank where you're getting a what? 3% rate of return, okay? 3% rate of return at the bank in a CD. Why do people get CDs? Because it's safe. They feel like it's at the bank. They feel like they're going to get a little bit of growth. They feel like they can always see it. It's going to be, but guess what, guys? That 3% rate of return is going to take your money 24 years to double. Think about that. It takes your money in the bank at a 3% rate of return 24 long years to double, right? And if you're not educated, what are you going to do? You're going to waste 24 years having your money in the wrong place. Okay. So now let's talk about your retirement plan. Okay. Your 401k or your TRS or your 403b, these employee sponsored plans. Guys, why should you get into a 401k or employee sponsored plan? So that you are saving some of your hard earn money. Sometimes it really saddens me when I hear people say, well, I didn't want to get into my 401k because I didn't want them to be taking my money. Okay. So what's the alternative? Did you put your money in a different IRA or different savings account or an investment where it's growing? Or did you just throw it out the back door because you didn't want to save it now? Now you look up, you've never saved a dime. Right? But
right.
Check it out. The reason why you get into a let's say a 401k, since that's the most popular plan, is because if your company matches you, right? So if you're contributing 3% of your income into a 401k and the employer matches, that's 6%. Now that money is going to take 12 years to double. Not 24, but 12 years, right? And so what we teach our clients, if you have a 401k and your company matches, get in it so you're not leaving money on the table. Okay. But the thing about your 401k, this is all about retirement. Well, we need to understand the rules, because again, how do you win the money game if you don't know the money rules? Right? We have to know the money rules. So I'm just going to enlighten you on the rules here. Okay. So now let's say that you have a 3% rate of return in your 401k, but let's say that you're actually contributing, let's say 6%. And your company is only doing 3%. You think you're doing a good thing. Why? Because you're at least giving more of your check. But guys, guess what? That's tax deferred money, meaning that money has not been taxed yet. So what that means is when you're ready to take distributions from that money, Uncle Sam does what? Tax that money 20%. And so now in those tax deferred employee sponsorship programs, if you're giving 6%, you're giving the government more money to tax. That's why you don't go in more than what your company's matching. You see that? So let's say, for example, your company is again matching, they're only putting in 2%. And let's say that you're putting in 5%. Well, you're giving the government 3% more to tax. right? So you're not really doing yourself a service. You're really throwing money away doing it that way. Guys, you have options. You only put in what your company puts in. That's it. But for you not to put in anything, and for you, or for you not to put anything, and for you to be in those programs when your company,
Oh, was that me? I hope I ain't freeze up. I think Shiloh froze up. Hold on. We'll be right back after this commercial break. My name is Furman Jackson Jr. I am excited to be one of the affiliated for the professional networking session brought to you by 3-in-1 Trinity Service. This awesome event will be taking place on Saturday, May 18th, year 2024 at the Bill J. Priest in Dallas. This will be a very impactful event for like-minded entrepreneurs. Come out, network, experience, and most importantly, support the fish contest that's going to be a part of this extraordinary event. I will see you there. There we go. We back now. I know you had froze up a little bit. We back.
oh, like, did I froze? I feel like I froze up a little bit, right? I've been having internet connections, I don't know, all day. I don't know. I can't fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it. But anyways, so let's go back to it, right? So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that when you're planning for your retirement, that you're putting your money in the right places. Number one, start saving immediately. Even we need to teach our children, they need to start saving into their retirement plans, into their emergency funds, and these things right when they are very young. Okay. Because think about this. If you could pay yourself $250 for the next 40 years, you will have $1.4 million when it's time for you to retire. Wouldn't $1.4 million be a lot better than having 39,000 or 100,000 when you retire because you didn't budget and you didn't discipline yourself to start actually putting money where it needs to go before, sooner than later? See, this is all about, a lot of times we don't learn. And so if we don't learn, guess what we do? We perpetuate this to our children. If our parents didn't learn, then guess what? We don't learn. And if we don't learn, our children don't learn. And what do? Their children don't learn. So what we have to do, guys, is we have to educate ourselves. We live in a world of information. There's really no reason that anyone with the internet should not know and should not be knowledgeable of how to handle their money. But if they don't know, that's why you get professionals like myself that make sure that we're licensed, we know the rules, so we can do what? We can empower you. Once you know the rules about money, once you know how to strategize your money, once you know how to budget your money properly, then guess what? Now you are empowered, right? One thing I love about talking to people, because they're like, wow, Shiloh, I did not know that. Wow, I wish I would have known that. Are you kidding me? I was talking to a principal, okay, just not too long ago, and she reached out to me. She said, Shy, I did not know that when I left my job, I wouldn't have life insurance. Guys, you're in education. I'm like, why wouldn't you know that? Because teachers don't know this, and we assume that just because people are doctors, they know the rules, because they're lawyers, they know the rules about money, because there are certain occupations, they know rules about money. But guess what? Your school never taught you the rules about money. College never taught you about the rules about money. For whatever reason, it almost seems like they keep this information away from us. So what? We can just be slaves to the system, right? We can be slaves to the system, so we don't get ahead. Because I think that if we, as Black people, if you will, and I know there's some other ethnicities on the podcast, but I'm just saying, urban people or people who are in the lower, impoverished people, if we got education, we would do better by our money. We would do better by the next generation coming up behind us. Would you agree with that?
I agree. You know what he said, what the scripture said, my people struggle with lack of knowledge because they rejected it. Even Paul said we did things out of our ignorance. So I'm knowing now that we become more wiser than ever before, more educated than ever before. but it's all about applying the information that we get on a regular
Mhm,
basis. Like the information is out there, but we just have to apply it.
mhm,
Like what the
mhm.
scripture says, don't be just hearers, but be doers.
Yeah,
So even the Bible have great information, but if we don't apply information from the Word of God, we just deceive our own selves.
absolutely we
Like,
do.
because you talking tonight, somebody will hear it, some will. It's the information that we get, ladies and gentlemen, is applying it.
Mhm,
So that's
mhm.
all I want
Yeah,
to say. But go ahead.
yeah. So let's talk about some of today's challenges, right? Because listen, we're all in this thing together, okay?
Right,
Did you know the average American has $90,000 in credit consumer debt, including credit card debt, personal loans, auto and mortgage loans, and student debt, right? 90,000. That is why people are stressed. That's why people oppressed. That's why people are pulling out their hair. That's why people are so discontented in their marriages, in their family, within themselves, because they look up and they don't have enough money to have the freedom just to live their lives.
right,
They got to go to jobs that they absolutely hate for over 40 freaking hours a week for over 40 plus years. And guess what? Still not have enough money because they have so much debt and have no strategy and no way to get out of it. Right?
right. Most
Nearly
definitely.
46% of Americans have no life insurance coverage. You know what that tells me? That means that people are just dropping at the drop of a dime, being killed for this, being killed for that, cancer this, cancer that, whatever the reasons that we pass away. And guess what we're doing? We are leaving our families nothing to even bury us, to even take care of our debt, to even leave anything behind for our loved ones. Right? And
Right,
now we're doing what? We're shopping your picture around Facebook and social media just to put you in the ground. If that is a problem, would you agree?
I agree.
Listen,
Cause that could be avoided. A lot of stuff can be avoided. It goes
mm,
back to our
mm,
decision making. Even
mhm.
Creflo Dollar said it years ago. Poor thinking leads to poor decision making, of course.
That's
And
correct.
we know
Absolutely.
because everything starts with a thought. So we're not even. Let's go biblical for a moment again. Even Jesus said, "Have you sit down and considered the cost?" That's
Mhm.
wisdom. Cause a lot of times we be so gun ho about stuff. But he said, "Hold up, have you sit down and considered the cost?" Just
Yeah.
imagine, Silo, if we apply that wisdom right there before we
Mhm.
make any decisions. Have we sit down and consider the cost
Yeah.
before we go out
Yeah.
there and do this?
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't think that we do. I think we're so used to living for right now, right? And we don't plan for tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
People people don't fail to plan, don't plan to fail, they fail to plan.
Right,
You don't get up and just plan to fail, but you will if you fail to plan. We have to plan. We have to have a strategy. We have to have action steps. We have to be able to go back and look and track where we are in our lives. What if we are moving forward? Because if you're not growing, you're shrinking. Because guess
mm-hmm.
what? Almost 4 in 10 Americans would need to borrow money to cover $1,000 emergency. $1,000 emergency. Think about that, right? Why haven't we taught ourselves how to at least squirrel enough money away for $1,000? $1,000, right? I don't know about you, but when the pandemic came, I was in shock. I was not ready for a pandemic, And like I tell people, I was stalking the government for them stimmy checks better than anybody, right? Because we
Right,
just had not trained ourselves, like you said, to actually not just consume every dollar that we get, but we need to save most of it, actually, right? Because what a beautiful feeling, what a wonderful relief that we have if we know I got money squirreled away. If anything were to happen, I have an outlet. I can go get money. Money is not the love of money, all that good stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's terrible. But money, what? It fixes everything, right?
mm-hmm.
It's the answer to everything, right? More than 1 in 3 Americans say a purchase of $100 or more would max out their credit card,
Right,
right? And 40% say they have less than 25,000 in savings and investments put away for retirement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had some clients just the other day. They're 63 and they're 57 years old. And I said, well, how much money would you like to have coming in for your retirement? Mind you, his retirement is very soon, right? Within just a few years. And hers is in like 10 years. And they're like $7,000. And so I'm like, okay, well, guess how much they need to be saving that they don't have right now? Like 2.4 million. They need to be saving $231 a month. Not 231, $21,000 a month. Because they waited too long. Do you want to be in the position where you can't, that is absolutely unreachable? No, we have to start making these decisions now rather than later. That makes sense?
It makes sense. It goes back to what I'm saying. Go back to what the scripture say. My people destroy for the lack of knowledge because they rejected it.
Mm-hmm.
It was that it's this mentality. And you know, you mentioned earlier, you know, the people misquoted for the love of money is the root of all. What is it? The love of money?
Mm-hmm.
How do you say it? Of all evil? So people
The
scared to
root
touch
of all
money.
evil. Yeah.
They always taught people that you're supposed to be poor and when you get to heaven, you're gonna be able to enjoy all that stuff in heaven. So people were scared to prosper. People were scared for the resources that, hey, Deuteronomy 8:18 said, God said, I give you the power to get wealth that you may establish a covenant made with our forefathers. A lot of people didn't know that, but they were so scared. If I touch money, I'm gonna go to hell. I better enjoy the riches when I get to heaven. But if you said in the Lord's Prayer to say, "Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven." So He wants you to have heaven here on earth. He didn't make us just to get by. He didn't make us just to settle for less. He didn't make us just to be a waste. He created us. We were fearfully, wonderfully made in His eyes, with apple of God's eye. But we have this poor image shot of ourselves. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, look at them. Oh, look at her. Oh, look at them across the street. Oh, why this? Why me? Oh, woe is me. Why I'm this? Why I'm that? We was not meant to be a waste. But it's that mindset. You know, I asked a question the other day. I asked anybody with the lottery. I mean, I'm thinking it was like $250 million. And I asked the average person, would you settle for the payments for the next 30 years? I think it's like, what, 25 million a year? Or take the one lump sum? You know, the average person said, I take the one lump sum because tomorrow's not promised. I can take that one lump sum and I can do this, do that. But I know if you take the one lump sum, it's going to tax you.
A lot.
But if I could take it and break it down for the next 30 years, $25 million a year, that's pretty much, that's a nice, very nice income coming in. What would you say about, okay, in your honest opinion, what would you say about that? Take the one lump sum or break it down where I get it for the next 30 years?
You know, that's a really great question. And I think it really depends on the person, right? And because, like, for example, if I was to take a lump sum, that lump sum of a money, my question is, what would you do with it? Right? I think that's the problem. We don't have a plan for it. Right? If I take this lump sum of money, I need to be putting in other investments to where it's going to be, it's going to continuously grow. But the problem is with that, people will take this lump sum of money and not know the first thing to do with it, Furman. And now all they do is do what? The same thing they were doing with their income, spending it, consuming it. not actually giving it places to go, not actually having plans for it, not actually paying off all their debt, not actually buying land, not actually blessing other people, not actually doing what we're supposed to do with it. It just would be just a whole bunch of more gluttony, a whole much more self-consuming, a whole much more look at me, whole much more I'm better than you, right? See, God, you know what I'm saying? It
I
wouldn't
know what
be
you're saying.
how can I improve upon so many other people? Right?
Go,
And
go
think
buy
about it.
Lamborghini.
Even if we got what you say is 30, how much was it a year?
I think it's 25 million for the next. I'm paraphrasing. I think it's the 25 million for 30 years.
20. Okay. So again, so I understand that that's not guaranteed that we'll be here for 30 years, right? But at the
But it
end of the
goes to your.
day,
But I think what it does, it goes to your family members. You
as
have,
it
if
should.
not, it gonna go to the state. If you have, they give you. I think they give you what's the word? A beneficiary, just in case
Mhm,
something
mhm,
happened to
mhm.
you.
Yeah,
It'll go to them. If
yeah,
not, the state will get it. But go ahead.
yeah, as it should, right? But again, at the end of the day, that 25 million, that's more than your 30,000. Right? It's like
Right.
that's more than that's way more than your 30,000. So I think it starts with your mindset, right? It depends on who you are. Because I'm not gonna tell somebody if you got $5 billion what not to do with it. If you want to take a lump sum of it, okay, what are we going to do with it? How is it going to go from generations to generations to generations, right? How are you going to be able to bless more people with it? See, so many times it's about me, my four, and no more. And we wonder why we don't live the kind of prosperous life that we're supposed to have. We wonder why God won't bless us with more. We wonder why that we don't expand our territory and enlarge our coast because we won't do the right thing with the small things, right? God's like, I will give you a little bit, and guess what? Your job, and if you do right with the small amounts and the little amounts, He's going to bless you with more. But we get
Right.
so caught up in our needs, we get so caught up in what we want, we get so caught up in our desires because God said, seek Him first, and then those desires of your heart He will give those things unto you, right? But we forget about the biblical part. We leave God out of these things.
Yeah, we do. Because it goes to the flesh. The flesh cries out. Yes, the
Yeah,
flesh gets hungry. Yes, the flesh gets tired. Yes, the flesh get weary. And we feed into those fleshly desires. Just like you talk about when it comes to our finances. Certain things you can do without. But see, that flesh cries out. The flesh worry about how I'm going to get this. How I'm going to buy that. Oh, I want to go out. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. So we feed into that like a junkie. If you're a drug addict and you got a drug problem, what you gonna do? You gonna go anywhere to get that fix, and that's what the flesh does. The flesh is
yeah,
just like a junkie. So whatever I have is
yeah,
going in our flesh, it feed. We got it try to consume you to the point that
mhm,
we lack discipline. So
yeah,
that's why we don't save. Then we regret it at the end of the day. Oh, why that could have waited. Oh, this could have waited. But social media,
mhm,
television,
mhm.
throw these things on us where they got to keep the economy going. Where we're going from paycheck to paycheck. I know I sent you something. I think I did the other day. I think I sent you something about the yearly income.
Yeah.
What you think about that? What was your opinion on that? I just
Well,
haven't seen it on social media, and I just like, no, I'm gonna share this with you.
yeah, I mean, I agree with that, right? But think about it. You said what you wrote, what you said is like the poor or near broke, and we can look at our own lives with this, right? We can like assess our own lives, right? We assess our own income, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
assess your lifestyle and how well do you live and what your lifestyle is. But it says poor or near broke is 32,000 or less.
Mm-hmm.
32,000 or less, right? That means people who are making right at $1,500 or $2,000 a month have a hard time, right? They're still broke. And guess what? If your lifestyle and if you have not even learned how to manage that little bit of money, okay, and you still somehow end up spending more on your lifestyle, and you have not even learned how to manage and pay yourself even out of that, right? Now you're living above your means. It's not hard to live above your means with that little bit of money, right? But let me give you a tip. Let me give you a tip. Couples, if you are a husband and a wife, or spouse and spouse, or whatever, however you live your lifestyle, right? And you have two discretionary incomes, okay? Two. You both are making $32,000. You both are making $32,000. Well, why not live on one income and save the rest and save the other income? Why are we both paying for, the same things? If you learn, husband, to pay the bills, wife, save and invest your income, you guys are going to get a lot further, quicker, and sooner. You see that? But we don't train our minds that she makes 32,000, he makes 32,000. So guess what? They live at or over what they make.
Right.
What if you just took that one income and you lived on that income? You were within your means on that income, and you saved and you stacked the other income. Wouldn't that make sure that you had money when you needed it?
But you know what? They can't think like that because they allow the outside world to influence them. Instead of being a free thinker and think for themselves, they allow the outside world to influence them. That's my opinion, Shiloh, because if he said, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, you right. You show right. Instead of saying, you know what, it's us against the world. This is something that we both agreed to, and we sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
If individuals learn how to be free thinkers and stop worrying about what other people think and what they say, and stop allowing outside influence to influence them, they'll be okay. Because you said that today to the average person, I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that. First thing they're gonna say, what the people gonna say.
Well, and at the end of the day, you need to say, well, what are you? Who does it matter? I think we spend our time trying to impress people who are just as broke as us, or don't give a crap about us either one way or the other. Why do we do that?
Just go along just to get along. Everybody don't want to. I don't want to say everybody. Everybody did. Individuals don't want to stand on their own 2 feet. They just want to go along just to get along. They don't want to be criticized. They don't want to. Everybody wants to be liked, and they want to be accepted, and they'll sell a soul just to be accepted. They'll lose themselves just to be accepted because they want to worship people so bad. They worry about what everybody think, what they gonna say, how they gonna react. Just like weddings, and I'm not knocking weddings all the time. It'd be wrong about people do weddings. Charlotte, this is my opinion. They just want to impress people.
Sure.
Instead of coming together and say, you know what, babe, we know we want to do something towards our future. We want to take this money we're making into invest in our future. But it takes the right person better do that together. But at the end, you got the well, I want to have this big $20,000 wedding. What 15 minutes to an hour? I got to get the biggest ring on my finger and post it on Facebook and Instagram so I get all these likes, pleasing people. The big wedding, pleasing people. The extravagant engagement, pleasing people. Instead of saying, you know what, babe, this is me and you against the world. That we're building our kingdom, we're building our empire. This is about us. Keeping God first, of course, He's the center of it. But it's about us. It's not about the outside. Once people stop allowing the outside world, where it's family members, that's the worst ones, family members, so-called friends, stop allowing these outside, stop allowing outside influences to deteriorate your marriage. And I think that's what a lot of marriages fall at too, Shiloh, because they allow outside influences to influence them. What you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. We forget to keep the main thing, right? And we, like you said, we put other people, places, and things in the place of God, in the place of what's really important, which is our mates. But think about this. I just did a little bit of a calculation. If if two people decided that, let's say they were going to get married at 30, okay? They got together at 30, and let's say that he's making 40,000, okay, and she's making $32,000. And what if they put together their budget, they live within their means, they lived on his income, and they saved her $32,000 each annual income for the next 25 years? You know how much money they would have at the end of that 25 years if they were getting a 9% rate of return on that money? They would have $3.4 million by the time they're 55. They would have no reason to work ever again.
That's why Jesus said, don't let the left hand know the right hand doing. If people learn how to keep their mouth shut, stick to your guns. And I know they come from human nature too. I won't be talking about this tonight, but I know Charlotte comes from the human nature. We get excited. We got to tell everybody. But then we keep talking, that influence come in, and what it does, it kills the excitement. Then we start thinking, oh, maybe they're right. That's why he said, don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. Now I understand that. You can't tell everybody everything. Whatever y'all decide to do, that's y'all business. Stop telling everybody. That's what we do. We tell everybody everything. Outside influence, that's what I want to say.
Or, you know what else I learned? I know that we don't do a lot of times in marriages, because we all come from different places and we all have our different relationships with money. We don't really talk to each other about money. Right. I deal with a lot of some of my clients who are married, and they don't talk about money. They don't talk about their goals together. They don't make goals together. They don't save together. They don't. It's like, is your money is your money. My money is my money. And we wonder why it's a constant struggle. We never really sit down and talk about, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? What about your credit score? What about yours, right? And listen, I am guilty of that too, because guess what? I come from the same mentality. The only reason why I get to talk about it now is because I've trained myself to understand the right way to do things, right? And this is the thing. Right. People don't need a critic. You don't need someone coming to your house telling you what you didn't do, what you can't do, and how awful you are. You need a guide. Sometimes we need to put our pride away and ask for a guide. I don't have any pride, Shiloh. I need a guide. Me and my husband, me and my wife, we need a guide to make sure we're going to have enough money when it comes, but we're going to have to build our financial houses properly. Guys, how do you build your financial house properly? Well, there's steps, there's stages, right? The first thing you want to do is make sure your foundation is straight with the proper life insurance. In case something happened to either of you, your house still stands. See, if you don't have income protection, your income goes away because you pass away. Guess what? That is a problem for your family. That's a problem for your children. That's a problem for the house that you're building, right? So we got to make sure that we are building our foundation. And not only that, you actually now leave money for your family to live on, for them to be able to invest, for them to be able to live better without you.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we got to sit down and talk about your budget. Most people make money. People make money, Furman, but they don't talk about their budget. Where is your money going? Where are you overspending?
Yeah, we got so much going out and not enough coming in.
Yeah. Or why have you made why is your food bill, your out to eat bill more than your savings? Right?
Right.
We have to change our minds. And guess what, guys? This is where your emergency fund comes in at. If a pandemic came along again, did we learn from the pandemic, and did we make sure we're saving enough money in case something like that happens again? Guys, you have to start paying yourself, even if a little bit by little bit. You have to start paying yourself something. Right? And then
we go Proverbs.
You have to talk about Go ahead.
No, there's somebody in Proverbs where you remember Solomon said, have considered the ant, you slugger. The ant don't have no overseer, no rule, no guide. An ant is built with an ant to do. The ant get out there, work, stores up for the winter. So
Mm-hmm.
the ant works during the harvest, but the ant knows, okay, winter's about to hit. So I know I can't be out here working. So I need to start working now,
Mm-hmm.
early. So when winter hits, I have enough saved for the winter for me and my family for the ant. Why they say consider the ant you slugger? They ain't have no overseer, no rule, no guy. In other words, the ant, nobody don't have to tell the ant what to do. They ain't know exactly what to do. That's you have
Mm-hmm.
people gotta tell other people what to do when they know exactly what to do. That's like when you go to the doctor. You know you're not in shape. You know that your body lets you, and you know that, and the body lets you know that. But you go to
Mm-hmm.
the doctor got to tell you, hey, you need to cut back on this. Hey, you need to be exercising. Hey, you need to be drinking plenty of water. You need an overseer. You got a guide. Your doctor's your overseer and your guide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. To help you what? Get on track, to remind you what's important, to remind you and encourage you that you can do it, right? That's
Mhm.
why it's important that we live, we we seek good counsel, godly counsel. But the problem is, Furman, people are not coachable. People don't want to really put themselves out there or be accountable, right? To even
They don't
make
want
themselves better,
it.
right?
Right, they don't want it.
Proverbs 13, Proverbs 13:4 says, the soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. The
Hmm.
diligent, the ones who's constantly keeping at it, the ones who's constantly working, the ones who's constantly getting up every day and putting their best foot forward, right? But the people that are lazy and don't put their hand to the toil, guess what? They have nothing. Poverty comes upon you swiftly, right? You
Right,
can't wonder why you don't have nothing if you don't grow, if you're not working to build nothing, right? That's why we have to start writing our goals down. But goals without action steps are just hope. And hope is not a strategy.
right. Favorite
We
God
have to
worship.
have mhm, we have to have absolutely a strategy. Like again, how do you accelerate paying off debt? There's a strategy, right? How do you get to retirement sooner? How do you get to retirement one day? There's a strategy. But if you don't have a strategy and if you don't have an action step and plans and literally putting work to it, you're never going to be where you need to be,
Right.
right?
They-
You're never going to get to where you want to be. Okay.
Right.
Um, Isaiah 119 says, if you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. Come on, somebody. If you are willing to sit down and understand where you are, and if you are obedient, actually do what it is that you've been told and taught to do, then you shall eat the good of the land. Furman,
Right, that's true.
Isaiah 119 tells us that.
Yeah. And you know what they said in the beginning? If.
Yeah. If there's a contingency there, right? And Ecclesiastes 5:19 says, as for every man to whom God has given riches and wealth and given him power to eat of it, to receive his heritage and rejoice in his labor. This is a gift of God, right? God takes
Hmm.
care of us. He really does. But again, there's some contingencies that God actually puts on us. Like we're supposed to take care of his house. We're supposed to seek ye the kingdom first. We're supposed to give to the poor. We're supposed to really take care of others, and God will take care of us. But what do? We forsake those commandments. And we're not obedient and wonder why we live in lack. We wonder why, especially if we don't get up and go to work every day and don't put our hands to the plow, we wonder why we don't have enough. Well, you're not being diligent. The Bible says Even with, remember 2 weeks ago we talked about interest. The Bible told us we should make our money should be doing what? Growing interest. We're not supposed to just make money and put it underneath our mattress. We're not just to make money and just have it going out the back door because we're gluttony. We're just gluttony. I just think about the people just eat a lot. People just it's a sin. We need to have some restraints. We have the restraints when it comes to spending money, right? Gambling our money away, eating money away, just being undisciplined with our money. You don't have to buy everything that you see.
That's the impulse. That's what it is. People, I think, and also they hit me on this one too. People spend money out of boredom. That people do that too, just like they eat out of boredom. They
Sure.
spend money.
Sure. Right? And that money that you're spending out of boredom, that's just the enemy. Just, you know what? Just running amok and just really listen. Idle mind is the enemy's playground, right?
True. Right.
So now you're idle. You got $4.50. The enemy just told you to go buy something that's $6.17. And for some reason, you've decided that's a good idea. And now you don't have enough money for your bills. You don't have enough money for an emergency. You don't have enough money to pay off your debt. You don't have enough money to take care of your children's needs that they needed. You just don't have enough because you haven't disciplined your mind and you haven't done the right things. So today we're talking about how you have to sometimes, guys, you have to stop, reevaluate, look at your budget, understand what your financial independence number is for the time and the day that you decide that you're going to retire. And the thing is, sometimes, Furman, guess what? People are forced into retirement sooner than they want to be. Medical.
Oh yeah, medical retirement.
Your career goes away, right? You get a sickness or illness or disease. We have this false sense of security that we're going to be here forever. No one likes to really talk about their mortality, right? That we're going to be here forever, that we're never going to get ill, we're never going to get sick, it's not going to ever happen to us. And the issue with that is it may. And the best thing that you can do for yourself, family, is to just prepare for the what ifs in life. Prepare if for an emergency. Prepare to pay off your debt. Prepare for your retirement. And guess what else you should be able to do? Oh, prepare for your children, college, for their adulthood, right? But guess what else we should prepare for? Our goals and our dreams. I think we don't. Go ahead.
No, obviously that's something that would keep people more interested, in my opinion, if they just write down their goals on a regular basis, whether it's weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, to keep them excited, keep them excited, keep them going, and not get so dull and boring. If that makes sense, hit me out on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have 9 disciplines that I do every single day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every single day I have 9 disciplines. And the first one is write my goals every day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have a planner. And every single day I write my goals. And I want people to understand too, and this is what we're going to talk about because we're coming to a close. This is what we're going to talk about in 2 weeks. I want to talk about the 9 steps to success, right? The 9 steps to success so that you can keep yourself in alignment, right? And one of those is writing your goals. You're absolutely correct. We need to keep our goals in front of us. But this is what I want people to do. This is one of the things that I think that people need to understand. We need short-term goals and long-term goals.
Mm-hmm.
Even immediate goals. What's immediate goals, Furman? Like every day. What is something that you want to actually make sure that you get accomplished today?
Right.
It might be, you know what? I don't normally fix my bed. It's just saying somebody just maybe you don't normally fix your bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that's a goal of yours is to start fixing your bed, making your bed, right? Because guess what? You hop out of bed achieving and accomplishing a goal. That's dopamine. We need those dopamine boosts each day and throughout the day. We have so much negativity going on, but what if you walk into your room and boom, you done got your bed fixed? Isn't that a good goal that you accomplished? What if you have another goal that you're going to organize your closet, right? You're going to
Mm-hmm.
organize your shoes. You're going to sweep out the bathroom, or you're going to do certain things that you need to do. These are daily goals that we have to get used to writing down and checking them off so that we can start becoming proud of ourselves. That guess what? We can actually accomplish these things. Because
Right.
just saying I want a house one day, well, that's a long-term goal. What can you get done today? Well, maybe you need to read up on what it's going to be to buy a house, right? Come on,
Mm-hmm.
somebody. Maybe you need to go and look at your credit score to see what you need to make sure you can get a house, right? These are the
Right.
small goals to get to the big goals,
That's it.
right?
That's it. That's
And
right.
so, yeah.
No, God, I was saying like this morning. I got up a little bit after 3 this morning. I went to the gym. That was a goal of mine. God said I want to get up early, which I'm gonna do the same thing in the morning. Because after we get done with the show, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give me some rest. I want to get up early. That's a
Mhm.
routine. In other words, I'm challenging myself to take myself to a whole nother level. That's
Yeah.
just personal to me. And I felt good when I went
Yeah.
up this morning. God said, I heard this a long time ago. They said if you get up and the sun is already up, you're already late.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I normally like to get up around about between 5 and 5:15. I have my prayer time, I have my affirmation time, I have my study time, and normally I'm probably on my skates ready to go around about 7:30 easily, right? My first meeting at 7 is at 8:30.
Okay.
And yesterday I slept in a little bit, Thurman. It was like after 6 o'clock, and my whole morning was thrown off.
Mm,
I felt like I was playing catch up, right? I didn't have that time to
mm,
myself. I didn't have time to seek God first. I didn't have time for my gratitude. I didn't have time just to really just get into my day, because when I hit the ground running. We all have 24 hours in a day.
you
And
do.
successful people, guess what? They get up early and they stay up late. They get the most out of their day. They
Got to.
squeeze as much out of their day that they can, right? And so
Right.
if you're finding yourself just always dragging, always unhappy, always miserable, I'm going to encourage you, just like Furman was saying, get up a bit earlier so that you can get yourself together. Because I don't understand people who wake up upset and angry. Because God says, weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the
Up in the
morning.
morning.
God says, today is a day that the Lord has made. We
Made
shall rejoice and be
choice.
glad in
Glad
it.
in
Right? We're
it.
supposed to hit the
Yeah.
ground excited about life, grateful that we could get up this morning. Because guess what? You can't even count the number of people that did not make it today.
Right.
Right?
And
So for
matter of
you to
fact,
get up complaining,
right. A matter of fact, he even told us to we said choose this day. And main thing when he told choose life. What did Jesus say? I came that you might have life and have life more abundantly. Why are we miserable? Why are we
mm,
upset?
mm,
Why are we broke, sick, disgusted, busted, can't be trusted? Why are we living our lives like that instead we making our mind shallow that, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be
mm,
successful. I'm gonna be
mm,
fulfilling. But we allow, oh, I'm in there. Oh, I'm feeling bad today. Oh, I'm not happy. Oh, this, why me? Why did all happen to me? Why are they picking on me? Oh, this. Who wants to live like that? That sucks.
mhm. And it's a
When you can
choice.
make up your mind. Go ahead.
No, no, right. And it's a choice. Like you said, to make up in your mind. And I saw something the other day that said, don't try to be positive. Be grateful.
All right.
Just be grateful. God, I thank you that I woke up today. Thank you for the breath in the air in my lungs. Thank you, I'm able to see. Thank you, I'm able to walk. Thank you for the food in my cupboard. Thank you for the house that I live in. Thank you for my family. Thank you for, that I don't have sickness. Even if you do, guess what? All things are working together for your
Good,
good.
good.
Count it all joy,
Okay.
right?
Right.
It's all about the mindset. It all, like you said, savings start in your mind. Your retirement start in your mind. You being in a better position and happier starts in your mind. And then
Right.
also what you're feeding your mind also matters.
That's it. Whatever feed your mind, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you feed your mind, it starts with you, ladies and gentlemen. It really starts with you first. I know we talked some good stuff on the show tonight,
Yeah.
but it starts with you first, ladies and gentlemen. You can create your own world. You can create your own universe. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. You can, because God was a creator. Oh, I got a question for you, Charlotte, in the comment section. Okay, he said, how have to get rid of the dead weight and elevate? Is that a question or a comment? He said, have to get rid of the dead weight and elevate into the clean air out of the contaminated air.
Yeah.
Okay, big shot. Oh, thank you. I thought that was a question, it was a statement.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt, for tuning in. He said, yes, exactly. And then he said, that's right, amen. I thought it was a statement. I thought it was a question. I looked at it. It just popped up. But yeah, everything starts with you. Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Big shout out to you for watching us
Yeah.
tonight. Big shout out to also Big Needy Lioness that was on earlier, I guess. Big shout out to Tony Nelson. Big shout out to Divine Way. Also, that was earlier. Big shout out to everybody who's tuning in and watching us right now. But we talking some great stuff. This is, I
Mhm.
guess you want to say, gut check time, and just become a better version. We say that all the time. Everybody say, be a better version of yourself. Be a better version of yourself. How can you be a better version of yourself if you have not dig deep into who the original version was? Because
Mm.
the original version haven't came out yet. They keep telling be a better version of yourself, but it's already the version of the best version of you is already inside you, because when you became born again, that inner man and inner woman woken up
Mm.
to come to the forefront. So it's all about being alive. Be alive.
Yeah.
Not even Jesus said, "Let the dead bury the dead." I'm more concerned about the living.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely. And we have to remember, if when we live with purpose, right? If you know that your purpose is not your own, we are not here for our own selves. Furman, the reason why you are having such wonderful success is because you give of yourself. And when we learn how to give of ourselves, we don't have time to worry about what we don't have. We don't have time to worry about how we're so upset and miserable and all those other things. If we wake up with a heart of gratitude and we ask God, Lord, use me today. How do I help and inspire Andre today? How do I help inspire Furman today? How do I help inspire your people today? And guys, if we do that every single day, God's going to bless us more than we could ever even imagine, right? And he's going
that's
to
it.
continue to fill our barns. He's going to continue to make sure we have everything that we need because we put him first. So if
That's
you're getting up sluggish, if you're getting up angry, if you're getting up mean, if you're getting up sad, if you're getting up ungrateful, you're getting up negative, get up a bit earlier and give thanks to God, because then you can start your day off properly.
that's
So,
it. And
Furman, thank you so much for having me tonight. And if anybody, if you need a financial coach, you need a financial guide, please get in contact with me on here. You can go to my Facebook. You can give me a call at 773-566-1228, and I'll be glad to do a complimentary financial needs analysis. That's where we will show you where you are, give you the proper strategy to get to where you want to go. And in the 2 weeks when I come back, we're going to talk about the strategies, or we're talking about the 9 steps to success. Okay, I'm gonna give you 9 steps to success, Furman.
man, awesome stuff. Also, too, if you have, I guess we could do this too. Charlotte White. No, I know you'll hear it 2 weeks, but if they have questions, financial questions, they could probably
Yeah.
email you. If that be something you'd be interested in too, if they have like questions, they can email you questions. I think that'd be good too. We want the audience to interact when it comes to these important conversations. We want your feedback. We want your interaction. So I think that'd be cool too. They can email you if with their questions and stuff like that. If they, I'm just throwing
I
it
would
out.
love that. I listen. I am here to educate, guys. I'm not here I'm here to educate you. And if you can find, if I do my job when I know that you learn something and when you are empowered, and when you're empowered now, that you can move on and you can do the proper things by, with your life. So don't feel bad. I'm going to actually drop my information, my website in the comments. Hopefully that will work. I think maybe hopefully that it will. I don't know. This comment has failed to walk. I don't know. I can't get it, but I'll make sure that I tag it so that people can email me from there. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer any questions. And if I don't know it, I will definitely find out.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I appreciate you, my sister out of Houston, Texas. Thank you for all that you're doing. Keep up the
Yeah.
great work as well. I also want to plug in on Saturday, May 18th, here in the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. Big shout out to 3-in-1 Trinity Service. They got a big event coming up on Saturday, May 18th. Want you be more information coming, so stay plugged in, stay involved, be excited. It is a ticket event. It's $20. It's a ticket event. It's a big, nice event. So, want y'all to come out, support, and that's gonna be Saturday, May 18th, here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I am a part of it, so I'm looking forward to be. Had a big shot with had a meeting today with Miss D, of course. Awesome woman, love her spirit. I just love her passion, Charlotte, for the work that she's doing in the community, giving back into the people, especially our young people, and
Mm.
right track. So I had a big meeting with her today. Very excited. I just like the connection, and you just gotta let God be God. Because you said something, and I know we're ready to go because we got stuff we got to do. But you said something that it's not about us. God sent you the people for a reason. It's not about it, like you said. You have to be a blessing to other people.
Mhm.
When He sent you to the highways and the byways, like you say, it's not about us. It's about Him. But He sent us to these other individuals who need us, if that makes sense. Who
Yeah.
need the gift that's already in us. Because think about it, our gift shall make room for us. So it's the gift and anointing that takes us to these places, to the individuals who really need it, ain't gonna benefit from it. Did that make sense? What I'm saying? You want to time?
Absolutely. I get up every day and I say, God, show me who you want me to bless and who you want me to help today. And I know if I do that, He will take care of me. Right. And so
Right.
we're disciples of Christ. We need to be about our Father's business, and our Father will be about ours.
And that's it. So we got this thing, ladies and gentlemen. We over the two hour mark. We did real good
Yeah.
tonight. So we thank everybody for tuning in. I will be back Saturday morning, 10 a.m. here on the Walking This Way Impact Was podcast. Charlotte will be back in 2 weeks with China with financial wisdom with her. We thank everybody for the support. Go to my YouTube page, which is Walking His Ways Impact Was. Go ahead, like, subscribe. Right now, I'm at 690 subscribers. So we want to
Hey.
get the number up. It's all about staying consistent. Also, I'm affiliate with Vivian as well. I'll be posting
Mhm.
more. I've been posting and be posting more of those commercials. So if
Mhm.
you are into getting an alarm system for your home or for your business, get with your boy. Help me out, of course, and I will be posting more of
Mhm.
that real. So support that, like, comment, and share on a Vivid. Like I said, they help support the podcast.
Mhm.
What else you got going on? As well on your end. So keep us updated, keep us informed. What else you got going on? I'm gonna let you go. I know you got some work you got to do. So you have
Yeah.
anything that you want to inform us on? Any upcoming things? Any training? Any classes? Any seminars?
You know what? There are, and I'm so excited because God is starting to put me in rooms with more people at one time. And one thing about me having a background in acting and radio and TV and those things, I've been asking God to merge my entertainment business with my financial business, and He's actually opened up some doors to where I'm able to speak to more people at one time and to be able to help more families. And so that's just my goal and my focus right now is help families become properly protected, debt free, and financially independent. And obviously, that's important to everyone, right? So That's my goal, is to keep on going, and staying more educated, right? There's always another license to get. And so I'm in the books right now, continuously going and making sure that I'm well equipped to help the people. So thanks so much, Furman. You're amazing.
I appreciate you. You're amazing too. So, ladies and gentlemen, we out this thing. We want you to have a great night, a great home day. This is the fifth month of May, of course. Man, y'all stay focused, be blessed, work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself. And working on yourself is not a one-time thing. Think about it. If you gain weight, you didn't gain that weight overnight. It took years for that weight to come on. So it's going to take years and months to take that weight off. But enjoy the process. So like I said, we got this thing. I know you got to study. I got to get myself prepared for in the morning. Man, y'all be blessed. And I will see y'all Saturday morning. Charlotte will see y'all again in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Peace, everybody.
Peace out.